Welcome to the nighttime edition of the Low Limit Poker Challenge. My name is Ara and this is
Ray. How you guys doing?
And we are competing against each other. 25 sessions of 1-2 No Limit Hold'em. So we have just finished session number 12 and we didn't tell you the updates for sessions 10, 11, and 12. So Ray is going to give you a quick breakdown of the numbers.
Okay, so this is about halfway. We're doing 25 sessions, so this at the end of session 12, we're just about halfway done. So we wanted to kind of give you a few statistics and let you know where we stand in our challenge. So starting off, Ara is still winning, and he's winning by a good margin, but I have made a decent comeback. In 12 sessions, Ara has won 9 and lost 3. I have won 8 and lost 4. In the same ballpark of what we expect. We expect to win about 65–70% of the time, and we always expect our wins to be larger than our losses. So, Ara's largest win in his 9 winning sessions is $1,008, and his largest loss is $297. For myself, my largest win out of the 8 wins is $681, and my largest loss for the 4 sessions was $197. So I'll let Ara, kind of explain and kind of do a rehash of what we've been talking about over the, last 10 to 12 videos. And it's not a coincidence that our largest wins, mine and his, on completely separate days were on identical types of tables.
Yes, some of the same players, and it was that type of table that I mentioned after session 1 where people are drinking, people are having fun. Some of the players were the same. So that was when I won my $1,000 day, and I actually played bad that day and I still won $1,000. And on Ray's day when he won like $680, I think that was yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Session 11 was my largest win. Session 1 was his biggest win.
Yeah, so that was awesome. Just over the last few days, if you want to get the numbers out. Today, Ray, we only played for about 3.5 hours today, and altogether we've played for what, 60 hours total? Does it say there?
No, we're at 52 hours. So 52 hours after 12 sessions. We're playing very short sessions.
Yeah, so that divides out to about 4.3 hours for the average session, and my average is in the ballpark of what, $47 an hour?
Yeah, our right now, where are we at?
Yep, go right here.
$44.40 per hour is ours hourly average.
Okay, and what's the total?
The total is $2,329 after 12 sessions.
Okay. And
mine is $1,305 with an hourly average of $24.88. So
okay.
My average is pretty much where I thought it would be and what I wanted it to be when we started the challenge. I said, I was looking to do 12 big blinds or more because my last one I was at 11. Ara right now is killing it. I mean, he's at almost, what's that, like 22, 23 big blinds an hour?
And actually, let me explain something to you guys. So when we started this challenge after the first 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions, I mentioned that I actually started off tremendously well, and Ray started off not horrible because he wasn't losing, but his was kind of much lower than his normal hourly average, his long-term hourly average. And so what we're seeing is like a revision to the mean. I'm coming closer to my long-term average of like $32, $33 an hour. I started off in the $100 to $70 an hour range, and I'm coming closer to that $33 an hour. And Ray started off in the like close to $0 or $5 an hour range, and he's actually like trended up towards his normal hourly average of, what'd you say, almost $25 an hour right now.
Yeah, a little under $25 an hour.
So for both of us, it's a revision to the mean, and no matter how good my good sessions are, no matter how bad his bad sessions are, it does tend to get towards that natural long-term average, unless you can improve as a player, which we are both trying to do, but that is time-consuming. I'm still in the process of learning. Shout out to Chris for teaching me how to play with a tight image. I'm still learning every day.
There was a point, and it wasn't after 1 or 2 sessions, but probably after about 7 sessions, I was averaging about $6 an hour. I just seemed, every time I picked up, what I thought was a good hand, I was just being second best. and I just wasn't winning. And again, I was able to minimize the losses so that I was still a winning player, but I was only winning $6 an hour after about 7 sessions in this. But then I had a couple good sessions, and it brings the average right back up.
Let me add to that point, and I want to add to one thing he's just said. So after 6, 7, 8 sessions, we don't want to look in the chart, find out exactly, but you get the ballpark. Basically, he was struggling after the first 7 sessions, and one thing that you did not hear him do is start complaining about all the bad beats that he had, all the times that he got pocket kings and an ace came on the board. And that kind of thinking and that kind of talk is just not productive. And what he tries to do every single day is obviously play his best, but also learn as a player to become a better player, because talking negatively and not having fun at the table is not productive to, one, getting your average back up to where it really should be, which he has done very quickly now in 12 sessions. And also, it doesn't help you to kind of learn as a player and become a better player. Warren Buffett had a quote, or one of those guys, maybe Peter Lynch or one of those investing gurus. They said, basically, like, invest in what you know. And what is often, which is good advice, but what is often overlooked in that saying is, just because you should only invest in what you know doesn't mean you can't learn new things and eventually know more so you can invest in more type of things. And I think that applies to poker. Ray's always asking me questions. He's always criticizing me for my bad plays, and I'm always learning as a player too. So we're actually pretty proud that not only are we winning players, but we're consistently pretty steady to make a few $100s a day on average, or a few hundred is stretching it.
For those of you out there, you know, and you're a slightly winning player or a slightly losing player and you want to get better, what you need to find is you need to find somebody in the poker community that you can trust. You need someone that you can ask honest questions to, and they'll give you honest answers. Not someone who's looking to angle shoot you down the road or anything, but somebody that you can become friends with and actually like discuss and figure out how to play hands better and where your leaks are. Everybody has leaks. I mean, even if you're making $40 an hour, you could be making 42 or 44 or 46. There's always something you can do better, but it's so hard to do it when you don't have other people to discuss things with. And I think that's a big reason why we've become winning players, is because we have each other to bounce ideas off of. And honestly, most of the time it goes back to like very basic strategy, and we're like, no, that's probably not the best way to play that. You would have done just as good, if not better, if you would have just played it straightforward. So you do not need to get super tricky or anything, but there are situations that you can learn from other people. You know, if they've played for a long period of time, you might have.
And actually, he actually asked me on the table today, why are you playing with that? I limped in a few times. And some people that have played with me pretty often, I'm trying to center myself in the light, realize that I very, very rarely limp. There are sometimes I go 4 hours and I don't even limp once. I just always come in for a raise, and that's just the thing I do.
Tonight he limped about 10 times, so I said, "What? You know, what's going on here? Why are you in a limping mood?" And he just said, I'm trying something different.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend Chris, and he likes to play with a very tight image, and he's averaging about $40 an hour long term, which is better than my average. So what I'm trying to do is put my ego aside, put my aggression aside, and actually learn from someone that I consider to be a very, very good player, and pick up what I can from that. But we're going on to 8 minutes. Do you want to?
The last thing I want to say is, you know, if you do pick up a new idea, you got to remember, you can't just try it for 1 or 2 sessions. If you try for 1 or 2 sessions, I mean, it's not long enough. So when you try something new, you've got to give it the time to find out if it actually works or not. So don't just think, you know, you can go and play for 8 or 10 hours with a new strategy and, oh my God, I found this new miracle, or wow, that's terrible. I mean, it's going to take a long period of time before you figure out if a new strategy is better or worse than your old strategy.
Yes, and actually our whole challenge, that's another point, this is all short term. 25 sessions, I do expect to make about $4,000 in this time frame. I expect him to make about $3,000, but 25 sessions is a very, very short period of time. It's all in the short term.
And the thing is, when we're done with this, we're going to give you our averages probably after almost 75 sessions for the year, and those numbers are going to be much closer to the long-term average. And then we're probably going to do another one after that, and we'll always give all the statistics. Because
and actually we're going to do a PLO challenge. I think we're going to do a PLO challenge after, either 5-10 PLO or 2-5 PLO, or we might combine the two because you might not always get the right game that you want. So we might just do like a general PLO challenge, and when we do like a 10-session challenge.
When we do the PLO challenge, we're also going to be playing 1-2. We're going to be playing 2-5 or 5-10, just because we are not going to be driving all the way down to the casino that offers PLO every time we play, because sometimes we only play for 3 hours. So when we're 10 minutes away, there's no reason not to go play for only 3 hours, where when you drive an hour or over an hour to get to the casino that has PLO, you're going to want to be there for minimum probably 5 or 6 hours at the least. So that takes a full day commitment, where there are times we show up at midnight and we know we're leaving at 3. So guys, have a good night. Happy 4th of July.
And yeah, it's July 3rd. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. We'll make more nighttime videos, and give us ideas. And if we haven't told you about the penalties, we'll tell you about that in the next video. Something to do with charity, something to do with t-shirts.
Let your friends know about our videos. We need subscribers. We need people to like the videos. We enjoy doing it, and we want to keep making them. So guys, have a good night.
Good night, guys.